Welcome back, folks. Today we're diving into a topic that could save you from making one of the most expensive mistakes of your life, buying a lemon. That's right, it happens more often than you think. On the surface, a car can seem perfect and shiny, have a clean interior, and even that new car smell. But under the hood, that's where the real story lies. If you're not careful, you could end up with a ticking time bomb, a car that looks great today but will cost you thousands in repairs tomorrow. Luckily, I've got 12 key red flags to look for during car inspection to make sure you don't end up with a four-wheel disaster. These tips come straight from the pros and mechanics that have seen it all, from leaky head gaskets to shredded belts. So let's jump right into this.
First things first, pop the radiator cap and take a close look at the coolant. If you see an oil sheen floating on top, that's a huge red flag. It could mean the head gasket is leaking. If it's been leaking for a while, the coolant might even look like brown sludge. And if you spot a pink tint or foam, that might mean transmission fluid is mixing with the coolant. Either way, this is the kind of problem that's expensive to fix and a nightmare you don't want to inherit. Remove the oil cap and take a look underneath. If there's a brown, frothy sludge, that's another sign of a bad head gasket. This issue could mean coolant is sneaking into places it shouldn't be. Think of it like discovering water damage in a house. It looks harmless at first, but it's a sign of a bigger, hidden issue. Next up, the dipstick. If the oil level is too high, it might mean that coolant has leaked into the oil. Again, pointing to a faulty head gasket. Sludge on the dipstick? That's a major no-go. A healthy engine shouldn't leave a mess on the dipstick. Walk away if you see this, unless you enjoy spending thousands on engine repairs. Transmission fluid should always be pinkish, even on high mileage cars. If the fluid has turned dark or foamy, or if the level is unusually high, it could mean coolant contamination, and a contaminated transmission can spell doom for the car's longevity. Check the CV boots on the front axle. These rubber boots protect the CV joints, and if they're torn, it's only a matter of time before the joint fails. Trust me, replacing CV joints isn't cheap, and if they've already failed, you're looking at a costly repair bill. While the car is on a lift, check each wheel for any play or looseness. Bad wheel bearings are a common problem, and ignoring them can lead to dangerous driving conditions. A quick shake of the wheels can reveal a lot about the car's health. If the brake pads are worn down to 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch, they're overdue for replacement. Some people put off changing pads, but here's the kicker. If they wait too long, they'll ruin the rotors too, turning a cheap fix into an expensive repair. Everyone knows to check for tire wear, but uneven wear is where the real story lies. If you notice the tread is worn more on one side, that could indicate an alignment problem. And cupping on the tire tread? That's a sign of worn ball joints, which isn't just a nuisance, it's a safety risk. Every water pump has a weep hole, and if you spot coolant leaking from it, it's a bad sign. The weep hole is basically the water pump's way of saying, I don't have much time left. If you see coolant dripping from the weep hole, plan on replacing the pump soon. Or better yet, walk away from the car altogether. A quick check of the serpentine belt can reveal a lot. If the belt feels slack or shows signs of unusual wear, it's likely on the verge of failure. And when a serpentine belt goes, it can leave you stranded with no warning. So this is definitely one to keep on your radar. Burnt out brake or turn signal lights are easy to miss and easy to fix, but they're also a sign of how well or poorly the previous owner maintained the car. If they didn't bother to replace a simple bulb, what else did they neglect? It's a small detail that can tell a big story. Lastly, check the air filter. If it's so dirty that no light can pass through, that's a red flag. A filthy air filter usually means the owner has skipped other routine maintenance. It's like finding mold in a house. It makes you wonder what else they ignored. Trust the signs, not the shine. Buying a used car can feel like a gamble, but knowing what to look for can stack the odds in your favor. A car might look pristine on the outside, But these 12 inspection tips will help you spot the red flags hiding under the hood. Whether it's coolant contamination, worn tires, or burnt out lights, these signs reveal how well or poorly the car was maintained. Remember, it's not just about finding a car that looks good. It's about finding one that will run reliably for years to come. So the next time you're checking out a used car, keep these tips in mind and avoid the nightmare of buying a lemon. Thanks for tuning in today. Stay sharp, stay curious, and always trust what's under the hood more than the showroom shine. Until next time, drive safe and don't get stuck with a lemon.